Do you want to take your photo editing from this to this? I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. With this image right here, we're going to be trying to get ourselves to have something that's high quality enough to where Apple would want to use it for their next iPhone background. Trust me, you're going to see. So we can go ahead and jump into Lightroom right now. And we're starting out with a pretty bland image. I mean, we got lots of cool colors. It's a really nice shot. Like, if we zoom in, we're getting lots of really good detail all over this image. First, as always, even out our image. So we're a little bit underexposed here, but that's okay. Personally, we're gonna bring that down just a little bit of haziness in there. Do not forget about good old haze. So with this, I want to bring the contrast just a little bit up because we are getting some nice colors, kind of shining off the top of this image, as well as getting some good neutral tones towards the bottom. So I want to get a little bit of difference in between those two. So we're going to just bring that contrast just a wee bit up. It's going to darken out the background. With that nice blurry background, we want to make our image as crisp as we possibly can. Okay, so we're going to bring our highlights up just a little bit. Right there. Watch. I'm going to bring my shadows way down, and it's going to make that background just look super, super silky. As you can see, all that little bit of color and stuff in the background just got faded away. We're seeing little bits of white in there, and then we just bring our shadows down, and now it looks like we're in a studio right now. I shot this in my iguana's cage when I did this, which the lighting is not the best. That's okay, because you work with what you have. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring those whites up just a little bit. So now we've gotten our background way darker. We've gotten our foreground where the image is at, and we've made it much brighter, evening out the image. Honestly, this image doesn't have too much work needed to be done on it. And so we can kind of jump over here. So since we've got this little bit of pinkish red in here, I want to make it stand out a little bit just because it's a neat part of the image. And that's kind of some things you want to be looking at, is like little intricate pieces that are separate from the rest of the image. Kind of zoom in a little bit on here, and we're going to just bring it out just a tad bit. Nice. Now we can see it really, really well. There are some nice orangish yellow patches that are kind of brownish, so what we want to go ahead and do is just isolate them. So with the mid-tone on this, I want it to be in that blue sort of range right there. That's going to help kind of even out the difference between the dark blue and kind of more that cyan where we're getting. So I don't really want to mess too much around with the shadows and the highlights. Honestly, yeah, just a little bit more of that blue, and we're just adding a tiniest bit to the shadows in order to make it just awesome, awesome, awesome. And we can go back to, of course, check out our versions. This is where we started. This is where we're at. Super big difference right there. Already, right out of the gate. And we haven't done a whole lot. Extra texture. Add a little bit of clarity in there. That's going to nicely add up these scales on the eye when we're backing out. Look at that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then we're going to bring that dehaze just a tad bit. I don't want to use too much. And we've got ourselves a pretty rocking image. So we're going to add a little bit of vignetting, because it's going to help a little bit with darkening up the background. So now we started out with a lot of really strange parts of our background that really didn't help the image that much. And now we look like we're in a studio space. It looks like we're in a studio space. We haven't really changed a whole lot of the image, but now it's completely different. We're going back to that original, back to that new one. Oh my gosh, it's just... We've got to play around with some grading. We did some color mixing with this, and we got to even out our image, how we're going to, eliminate that background color to make it so we're looking in a studio space. We're modifying those shadows and those darkness of it, but we're not trying to do it so much that our image shadows are just completely gone. So if we go ahead and check out, see if we're clipping it all. Again, we're only clipping up in this corner. Not too big of a deal. It's all right. Like I said, I'm gonna let it ride. If you all enjoyed this video, don't forget to go ahead and leave me a like, subscribe if you're enjoying these tutorials. I'm going to keep coming at you with them, because at the end of the day, photography should be fun, and when you get to the editing bay, you shouldn't feel stressed. So I'm hopefully helping and easing your process a little bit and making you a little bit more efficient with your workflow. Anyways, have a good rest of your day.